Does he know y'all have this in the doc?
I would doubt he knows.
So when this airs, that'll be the first time that his legal team, Diddy, that everybody knows that this footage is now seeing the light of day. One could watch this and think that you really hate Sean Combs.
If Sean Combs watches this, what do you think he's going to feel?
Like, wow, this is amazing. I think he's going to say this is the best documentary I've seen in a long time.
Gotta ask you, Janice Combs, how you feel about her? I mean, they alleging that she was, having freak-off.
I spoke to a man, Mr. Brown, who used to go to the freak-offs. And he knew Miss Combs and he knew about her and her freak-offs and everything like that. We had always thought that she had a modeling agency, but it wasn't a modeling agency. It was more a brothel that she ran for high-profile drug dealers.
50 Cent just dropped the news that Season 2 of his explosive Diddy documentary Sean Diddy Combs, The Reckoning, is on the horizon. And this time, all eyes are on Janice Combs, the force behind the rise of the man we know today and the true power behind Bad Boy Entertainment. Reports say Netflix wouldn't touch this footage in Season 1. But 50 isn't holding back now. He's gearing up to release the game-changing material directly on YouTube, promising a side of the story fans have never seen before.
Yeah, my mom's gorgeous. Hold on, let me introduce you to my mom, called Mom Dukes.
Hi.
She's getting a drip with me. She's hydrating. What's up, Mom?
Everything's good, baby. I'll be with you.
Yeah.
I love you.
I love you too.
It all starts with Diddy's early life. In the Netflix documentary, childhood friend Tim Patterson recounted how Combs' father, a Harlem street figure, was killed when Diddy was just a toddler. After his death, his mother, Janice, stepped in, taking control and turning their home into a hub of high-profile gatherings. It was at these parties that Diddy first encountered the adult world of power, influence, and street reputation. Everyone around the neighborhood knew exactly what was happening behind those doors.
Diddy mom, she came out defending her son, man. How you feel about that? She made a comment saying that he's not a monster.
I guess this is my newfound career, so I'm going to say what on my mind and what I think, brother. First of all, that's his mother. Wrong, right, or indifferent, she going to lie, steal, kill, and protect her child. That's what she's supposed to do. But the apple don't fall far from the tree, man. You got to realize that. You know, he didn't get all this from his daddy because he didn't know his daddy, even though they try to say his daddy was some big time drug dealer in the whole 9 yards. You understand? He didn't get this from his daddy. You got to realize, man, you know, his mother had a modeling agency and it was alleged that it was also Ladies of the Night, a prostitution ring too.
From the beginning, Janice was driven by ambition and influence, marrying a Harlem figure to secure her place in the game. After Diddy's father passed, she set her sights on molding Diddy into the key to her own rise. In the documentary, Patterson recalled a stage right in their living room where Diddy and others were put on display, dancing, performing, and soaking in the attention with everyone calling out, "Do that dance, baby." As he absorbed it all, learning early how the world of spotlight and power really works.
Said Diddy mother might be the originator of the freak-offs. All right, so tomorrow Peacock is dropping. According to the Rolling Stone, the doc features an alleged childhood friend of Puff's, hip-hop producer Tim Dog Patterson. He alleged that Janice, Diddy's mom, would often throw parties at Diddy's childhood home. He says that during the parties, it wasn't uncommon to walk into rooms where adults was having sex. I mean, that was just their normal. And the doc, when talking about the parties, Tim says, verbatim, "That's what we were privy to. This was what we were fed."
The darker side of Diddy's upbringing comes into focus when those around him recall just how calculated his mother's influence was. Sources close to the family, including Gondal, have said that the dynamic between Diddy and Janice often made people uneasy, revealing just how deeply she was shaping him to understand attention, admiration, and control from a young age. Lessons that would later fuel his rise to power in the music world.
This man was talking about that his mother could take her palms and bend over and put them down on the floor. Not bend over, but she could stand straight up and put her palms on the floor, bruh. He's saying that about his mother. Who describes any of their mother action like that in a sexual way? And then, you know, I don't know how many dudes do kiss their mother in their mouth when they 50, 60 years old or something like that. That's them. That's their whole thing, man. But that was a little kind of weird for me. And then his mother wore the same white fingernail polish that Cassie described that he liked to see her and other models in when she was describing her lawsuit. And what's crazy to me is that, man, it seemed like him and his mother had this, I don't want to get too deep, man, this Oedipus complex thing.
The patterns of Diddy's youth eventually shaped the world he would create for himself, including the wild parties he became known for, essentially a reflection of what he had witnessed growing up. Janice was fully aware of these events, and multiple eyewitnesses even reported seeing her at many of them, quietly guiding him along the path she had set, showing just how much of her influence had molded the man he became.
But why you believe she knew about the freak-offs?
Because one of the witnesses said she was there. And do you remember this, bro? Check it out. People tell off on themselves so much, man, and I don't understand when people don't catch it. Diddy has said this. He said, when I give a party, I have to have an ambulance outside of the house. Paramedics ready. That people have to take IVs. Remember the time that him and his mama kissed each other on the lips?
Yeah, I remember that video.
Do you remember that both of them was getting an IV at the same time?
Yeah, I did notice that, yep.
That's from the Diddy freak off party. And I'm going to say allegedly.
So let me ask you this. You knowing her at one point, you knowing her personally, is she the kind of person that, you know, will be a part of a freak off or no?
I think that she liked to party and she partied with young people. She's always been like that. She always copied or emulated Little Kim and Mary J. Blige. Or they emulated her. The blonde hair, the nails, the high boots, the age-appropriate, inappropriate clothing.
Gondal revealed that he always felt there was something unusual about the closeness between Diddy and his mother. After his father's death, Janice positioned Diddy as the man of the house, placing enormous pressure and responsibility on him at a young age. Over time, their bond became increasingly controlling and invasive, with Janice deeply involved in Diddy's social life and parties, guiding him at every step and shaping the behaviors and decisions that would define his rise.
A relationship, whether it's physical or mental, with a mother and a son. So I'm looking at his mother and him on the couch, and both of them are getting IVs after one of the Diddy parties. Allegedly. I'm gonna say allegedly because I wasn't there and I didn't know, but they showed them both getting IVs on the couch. So my whole thing about this thing is that I'm not saying that she was ever at a freak off, she was ever at that type of party, but you can't tell me Miss Janice Combs, who was always at the regular parties, didn't know nothing about the freak-off parties.
A relationship, whether it's physical or mental, with a mother and a son. So, I'm looking at his mother and him on the couch, and both of them are getting IVs after one of the Diddy parties, allegedly. I'm going to say allegedly because I wasn't there, and I didn't know. But they showed them both getting IVs on the couch. So, my whole thing about this thing is that I'm not saying that she was ever at a freak-off. she was ever at that type of party. But you can't tell me Miss Janice Combs, who was always at the regular parties, didn't know nothing about the freak-off
could understand.
parties.
For the situation where they say he was trying to shape Misa into his mother, can you see that? Like,
yeah, with the blonde hair and yeah, and all of that. I mean, somebody
really
asked a question: what kind of man puts his hands on his mother? The same kind of man that parties with his mom, the same kind of man who kisses his mom in the mouth, the same kind of man who seems to have accurate knowledge that his elderly mother can put both of her hands, her palms, on the floor and while she's standing up, bent over.
Oh damn! I ain't seen that one. Oh.
You never seen the Instagram video where he was talking about how his mom is still young and spry and how she still liked the party and how they was getting a IV drip?
Oh. Damn.
And she was kissing him in the mouth on the video where he was like, yeah, my mom can bend over and touch the floor with her palms.
No.
It's a very, very, very weird relationship. It's weird.
Allegedly, Cassie even shared some of the bizarre and unsettling behaviors in the household. Janice's influence extended into every corner of Diddy's life, including unusual family rituals and traditions that left those around them stunned, creating an environment that was strange, controlling, and deeply memorable, shaping Diddy in ways few outsiders
in the
could
music
understand.
world.
So how you feel about, her? I mean, they alleging that she was, having freak-offs.
I spoke to a man, Mr. Brown, who used to go to the freak-offs. And this guy lives in Georgia right now. And he told me that he was a stick-up kid back in the day. And one time he had robbed one of their spots. And he went back and he had got the money and gave them their money back and everything like that. And he knew Miss Combs and he knew about her and her freak-offs and everything like that. We had always thought that she had a modeling agency, but it wasn't a modeling agency. It was more of a brothel that she ran for high-profile drug dealers and athletes. You could tell by I could tell that Miss Combs at the time, and actually saw her, like young guys. She came at me a couple of times back in my heyday, before the extra 75 pounds back then. And the reason I left Bad Boy wasn't only because of her advances, it's because I got tired of a lot of the bullshit.
As a reminder, Diddy's early life was marked by chaos and influence that went far beyond typical childhood experiences. Allegedly, while he was still young, Janice was running a highly active social network in their household with people constantly coming and going under her direction. Those who were there say it was an open secret. And Diddy grew up absorbing the control, organization, and power dynamics that his mother wielded, lessons that would shape his future in the music world.
Janice Combs is speaking out about the Netflix documentary, Sean Combs' The Reckoning. In a statement to Deadline, she said, "These inaccuracies regarding my son Sean's upbringing and family life are intentionally done to mislead viewers and to further harm our reputation." She also maintains she was not an abusive parent and says that Diddy never slapped her, as previously stated in the documentary.
Unsurprisingly, Janice isn't pleased with the documentary and has issued a statement denying the claims. But here's the twist. Despite how explosive and damaging these allegations are, neither Janice nor Diddy has taken legal action against 50 Cent or Netflix. The reason is clear deep down. They know the story 50 is telling hits closer to the truth than they're willing to admit.
It's Diddy. It's Janice Combs. Janice Combs is Bad Boy. Man. You don't actually sign to Diddy. His name is on a dotted line, but you actually sign it to Janice Combs.
Did he ever tell you why that is, or do you understand?
Oh, now that I'm older, I know exactly what it is. It's a paper trail, so nothing can come bite me. If you come for me, you ain't coming for me. I ain't got nothing. You go.
Janice taught Diddy everything he knows about business. And even as the public face of Bad Boy, he doesn't actually own the stock. Every asset remains under his mother's control. Interviews and footage uncovered by 50 Cent show that Janice was a gatekeeper of the label's finances and a master at managing its challenges. Insiders say Diddy signed critical documents to her not just out of respect or duty, but as a strategic move to protect assets and maintain a layer of deniability, proving just how much of the empire she truly controlled.
In the 2000s and 2010s, Diddy was really prospering, music, business, fashion. And one of the things that he had said, what he alleged in the documentary, and again, this is an allegation from him, was that the name Bad Boy Entertainment, Combs's name was not really involved in that on the corporate side. And one of the things he's saying is the reason for that was to avoid having to pay any liability from, the devastating basketball game that had happened in the early 90s, where he was the subject of wrongful death lawsuits because of the multiple deaths that had occurred as a result of that basketball game that Diddy was behind organizing. So that was really, surprising to hear.
Yeah, that was a big allegation, because the families of the victims killed in that stampede, it was horrible. We're talking about December 28th, 1991. Combs, fellow rapper Heavy D, they hosted this charity basketball game. The game took place at the gymnasium of the City College of New York. And according to the New York Daily News, before the basketball game started, people who weren't let inside, they broke a window, swarmed toward the entrance of the gym, all went down a staircase. The doors at the bottom of those stairs opened towards the stairs, not towards the gym. So once a crowd got down there, they couldn't get the doors open and people started being crushed. 9 people died. Dozens of others were injured. And there were no criminal charges that were ever filed against anyone for the stampede, but multiple families and injured victims they filed.
Why does Janice hold all the ownership if Diddy is running the show? Back in December 1991, Diddy organized a high-profile celebrity charity basketball game at City College. But before it even started, chaos erupted as a crowd surged in, tragically causing a stampede that claimed 9 lives. Facing lawsuits from the victims' families, did he realize that if anything like this ever happened again, all his assets could be at risk, making it clear why his mother retained full control over the empire?
I was at City College. You understand? I was there. I was doing security. My team was supposed to have the outside. Puff came to me the day before we were supposed to do the job there and told me that Heavy D didn't want us to do the security outside. I had 18 men ready to do the security outside with my dogs like I always do. People knew how we used to roll. We would have the pits, the Rockwilders, you understand? We had that outside locked up. So anybody try to bum rush, anybody do that, we had the gates, the whole 9 yards. So we could stop all that. You know how people gonna get down in Harlem. You understand? So, and then when you got LL Cool J, you got Mike Tyson coming through there, and they coming through the front door so people see them. So they gonna go crazy. LL was the hottest thing out at that time. Mike Tyson was the hottest thing out at that time. They got all kinds of stars and people in there already. They was coming through the back. They came through the front. And it caused the door to be bum rushed. But if they had the gates up, if they had the dogs, and with the help of the police, that shit would have never happened, bro. That shit would have never happened. I was there, I saw it. I saw Jessica run down the steps after she grabbed the money box because my man Eddie was protecting her. And Eddie's the one called me on the walkie-talkie and said, yo, Jessica just locked me in outside the gym, Gene. You couldn't go down the steps after they bum rushed the door. You understand? I had to run around the whole gym on the outside, around the gym, down the steps, run across the basketball court, and open the front door. When I opened that one door, because it pushed inside, people start squeezing through that. Then I just kept doing the doors and people was coming in there, falling dead, right out, just falling out right there. And once they got in there, they just fell out. It was crazy, bro. You know, he just wanted us to do inside the gym to make sure that nobody, you know, be over the celebrities like that. That's what he wanted my team to do. But most of the celebrities gonna have their own security anyway. You know what I'm saying? That was just a way to cut our security off anyway. So he cut the security and he got the FOIs, and the FOIs left their post, and that's how the people bum rushed the door, and 9 people died by going down those corridors.
And you blame Diddy for that?
Yeah, I do. It's his fault.
Gondal, who witnessed it all firsthand, places the blame squarely on Diddy. Security was insufficient. Warnings were ignored, and the tragic outcome could have been prevented. Many feel that Diddy has to be held accountable for the chaos that unfolded that day. A stark reminder of the heavy responsibilities that come with power and influence.
And again, I know the freak offs that his son is there. Like, it seems like he likes to get down with his kids.
Yeah. But that wasn't all. Just the to hear Little Rod say, like, the boys were around. Roger Bonds talked about the children as well. What kind of parenting relationship is that? But then again, that goes back to the conversation of Lori Harvey, Steve Harvey's daughter. It was all known that she was spotted in them streets with Justin, and then she was spotted in them streets with Diddy, and they all tried to sit there and pretend like that wasn't what it was. Like, I don't know if anybody has not noticed, but ever since Diddy got pinched, they've all been trying to pretend like all of the stuff that we've seen that happened, that they was all involved and didn't happen.
The closeness between Diddy and his mother was shocking enough. But the ripple effects of his upbringing show up even more in how he approached his own family, revealing patterns and behaviors that have fascinated and concerned those watching his rise.
Overnight, lawyers for Sean Diddy Combs trying to stop the release of a Netflix docuseries due out today.
We have to find somebody that'll work with us that has dealt in the dirtiest of dirty business.
The series contains never-before-seen footage of Combs debating strategy with his lawyers in the days leading up to his arrest in New York last year.
I am going to let you professionals look at the situation and come back to me with a solution.
It also includes video of Combs greeting fans in Harlem.
Off my back, bro. I'm gonna win. As long as you win, be with it. I'll accept it.
And then saying this about the interaction moments later.
I need some hand sanitizer. Hold on. I got it. I've been out in the streets amongst the people. Yeah, I gotta take a bath. Like the amount of people that actually I'm coming in contact with, like that's what I have to do. You know what I'm saying? It's like 150 hugs.
Now Combs' lawyers are demanding Netflix pull the series, threatening legal action, claiming Netflix is using stolen footage that was never authorized for release as part of what they call a shameful hit piece. The series is executive produced by Combs' longtime rival, Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, and director Alex Stapleton, who said, quote, "We obtained the footage legally and have the necessary rights," end quote. Before the cease and desist demand was sent yesterday, Stapleton and Jackson sat down with our Robin Roberts to discuss the series.
How do you respond to people who say that it's more about the disdain that you have for Sean Combs than it is for giving the victims a platform?
It's not personal.
The show is not completely the perspectives of people that did not like Sean. Not everyone needed to have an allegation to be a part of it.
Everyone in Diddy's circle is scrambling to shut down 50 Cent's documentary. Diddy has already filed a cease and desist, calling it defamatory, misleading, and deliberately damaging, with his legal team arguing that the claims are unproven, exaggerated, and aimed at ruining reputations rather than sharing facts. But here's the twist nobody can ignore. The legal action didn't come after season 1. It came only after words started leaking about the explosive revelations set for season 2.
Diddy Combs' sons Justin and Christian are teasing a new docuseries about their family. Justin and Christian King Combs appear in a new trailer released December 28th to Instagram by Zeus Network's founder. In the trailer, Justin and Christian sit on a couch in a screening room while a series of headlines about their father cycle on screen. At the end of the trailer, Justin's phone vibrates and he answers a collect call from the Fort Dix Federal Correctional Institute, where Combs is currently behind bars. No release date for the docuseries is given, though the teaser says viewers can expect it at some point in 2026. Combs shares Justin with ex-Misa Hilton and Christian with the late Kim Porter. The rapper is also dad to 34-year-old son Quincy and daughters Chance, 19, twins Delilah and Jesse, also 19, and Love, who is 3 years old. Combs was transferred to Fort Dix from the Metropolitan Detention Center in New York in late October after he was sentenced to 50 months in prison on prostitution-related convictions.
Zeus Network has a new Diddy documentary coming out, and this time it is coming from the perspective of Diddy and his sons. All the time I thought we were about to leave Diddy in 2025. Well, this documentary is coming in 2026. And a lot of people, just like myself, are already not feeling this new documentary coming from Diddy's sons. A lot of people aren't happy about it and actually shocked that the owner of Zeus Network, Lemmy, is doing this Diddy documentary. But what a lot of people fail to forget is Lemmy and Diddy have been friends for quite some time.
Of his children arriving in court for day one of their father's trial in New York and gripped in solidarity.
Do you still believe your dad's innocent? How did you feel hearing that testimony? You apologize on behalf of your father. Do you believe your father's innocent? Do you still confess your father's innocent? Your daddy does for you! Your daddy does for you for abusing women! That's wrong! You think that's wrong!
The foes, the joy, the pain, our voice, the loyalty, the betrayal, the vows, the love, the hate, the truth, the lies. And Diddy calling from Fort Dix.
This is a prepaid collect call from Federal Correctional Institution, Fort Dix.
When they released this trailer last night, there were so many comments to Lemmy and Zeus Network that they did not want to see this. A lot of people feel like this whole new documentary is just a PR narrative, once again being pushed by Diddy and his sons to try to clean up his image. And after hearing certain things on 50 Cent's Netflix documentary, we have to go back in time and remember what we were seeing during trial. Even when it came to Diddy's sons, Christian and Justin Combs, they both came on two separate occasions to trial wearing a free Sean Combs shirt. The first one to do this was Christian Combs during Jane's testimony, and you're not supposed to wear this stuff in front of a jury to try to sway their opinions. And the judge actually told him he had to leave and take it off. And then literally like a week later, Justin did the same exact thing. It was taken out of the courtroom by the judge. And we already saw the videos in the Netflix doc of Diddy talking to Justin saying he needed to push out certain content to control a narrative. During the trial, there were a lot of things going on that I could see that to me felt like it was just straight PR. Do you remember all of these people that were wearing the free Diddy shirts? And it was actually a meme coin that's on their shirt.
50 Cent wasted no time reacting to the news of the new documentary, giving it a direct shout-out and signaling that he's ready to drop explosive revelations that the world hasn't seen before.
Being as expected, 50 Cent caught wind of it hitting the news, hitting the blogs, and being on the timeline yesterday that Diddy's sons, Sean and Justin, will be dropping a docuseries of their own to tell their side of the story, their experiences, and how they view things on the Zeus Network. With 50 Cent put it up on his Instagram page, and he promoted the trailer when you look at it from the other side of it on the marketing side, but he knows it plays back into the doc that he just dropped as well with the record, and he put it up and said, wow, I want to see this show. I'm not sure this was a good idea. And he tagged at 50 Cent Action, letting it be known that this is really promo.
Janice Calm is no longer just a side note. She's front and center. And whether you buy into the allegations or not, one thing is undeniable. This family is desperate to keep the next chapter under wraps. Make sure you're subscribed because when season 2 drops, every revelation is set to turn the story upside down. And trust me, you won't want to miss a single moment.